Post-COVID isolation, social media, bullying, and violence overall. Kids are dealing with a lot for their age. Those concerns have parents, national, state, and local leaders looking at ways to help them adjust and prioritize their mental health. And today, word from the governor's office that our state has seen a 65% increase in the number of mental health counselors in schools over the course of 1 year. News 19's Sam Perez has the details.
We've made really good progress over the last year, but we're still not where we want to be.
Jeff Liritz works with the Department of Health and Human Services, which is making progress on getting more mental health counselors in schools across the state.
We've found that students are 21 times more likely to access a mental health service in a school than in another setting. And a lot of those are because of not having to work with transportation, not needing to have a parent take off of work potentially.
To help get more counselors in schools, Liritz says this time last year, DHHS increased reimbursement rates to get higher starting salaries for mental health counselors. And it also allowed school districts to find counselors from outside of the state's Department of Mental Health, allowing for more flexible hiring.
I'm not trained in talking people out of committing suicide. I'm not trained in addiction. I'm not trained in all that. And nor do I want to be.
Sherry Hill is a biology teacher in Rock Hill and the president of the South Carolina Education Association. She says more counselors need to be trained to deal specifically with mental health issues, which University of South Carolina professor Jonathan Ort helps with.
Having people who are really well trained and interested and enthusiastic about helping is really important. It really does start at the training level.
I've always loved working with kids. I was a youth cheerleading coach. I was a summer camp counselor. I love working with kids. They're so fun.
Ansley Rabin is a first-year master's student, hoping to become a mental health counselor to meet the growing need as kids recover from social isolation during the COVID-19 pandemic and adjust to social media.
People struggle as adults, and that doesn't mean that it's isolated to struggling as an adult.
Seeing students like Rabin training to become mental health counselors gives mothers like Michelle Williams confidence.
It makes me feel, I have a grandchild on the way, that they'll be supported, and if they have needs, they'll be met.
Reporting in Columbia, Sam Perez, News 19 WLTX.
The Department of Health and Human Services says it will continue to monitor how often these counselors are being utilized and will continue its effort to see even more counselors in schools. The governor's office says the mental health counselor to student ratio has improved. In 2022, it was one counselor for every 1,300 students. Now it's one counselor for every 829 students.